Hey, what's up guys, my name's Sam. I'm a photographer and filmmaker based here in Malaysia, and today we're going to be comparing two lenses. And this lens, well, particularly in my opinion, is probably the second lens that you should buy as a professional filmmaker or photographer, and that is these two lenses. These are the 70-200 f2.8 from Canon, specifically this is the version 2 and this is the version 3. So before we start, I just want to say that this comparison is not really coming from a technical perspective. I didn't really sit down in a lab to test out every single thing, all the sharpness and details and things like that. I also don't know how to do those kinds of tests. So in particular, this comparison is really based on my own personal opinion and what I found out from using these two lenses. They might vary differently from what a lot of people are saying or what test charts are saying, because I don't know, when you use lenses or when you use cameras in the real world, it's a lot different when it comes to, sitting down in a controlled environment and doing these tests. Yes, you can get consistent results, but I feel like when you're in the real world, that's more important, because those are the reason why you buy really expensive lenses or you invest in good quality equipment, is for those specific kind of situations where you can't control and when you need your gear to work. If you've been shopping around, if you've been looking around these two lenses, you probably know the answer from a lot of people, but today I'm just going to share my opinion and which one I think you should get, or if you should upgrade to the version 3 if you own the version 2. Also, I already have a full in-depth review of the version 3 lens. I'll link it down in the description below if you're interested in checking that out. But today we're just going to be doing a straight up comparison between these two lenses based on things that I've shot and my own personal experience. I just want to point out something that out of all the 70-200s that are being sold from the first party manufacturers, Canon's one is actually the cheapest one. And if you're considering a price and price is an issue and you have to look at third-party lenses, then of course that means that this lens just isn't in your price bracket and it might not be for you. So I want to talk about the first thing that a lot of people compare to, and that is the flaring. From my overall shooting and testing, I found it very hard to flare on both of the lenses. Obviously the version 3 is going to be better in terms of controlling your flare and things like that. There are a lot of tests out there. It's just that from my shooting, I've never really encountered a situation where everything just overly flares. I will still give a point to like the version 3, but the version 2 in my opinion hasn't changed. But what I do want to say is the contrast on the version 3 is, in my opinion, significantly better. I can really tell the images coming straight out of the version 3 lens is by far much more contrasty. That really helps a lot straight out of camera, so you do minimal post-processing. And additionally, the sharpness on the version 3 is, from what I can see, is tons better than the version 2. Especially when you're shooting at 200mm. The version 2 lens always seemed a bit soft and out of focus, but when you look at the images that come out from the version 3, these pictures are so sharp. They're not just in focus, they are just the subject's just popping out in the frame, and that's something that I find that it's a bit hard to replicate on the version 2. For that reason alone, is well worth an upgrade, at least for me. Image stabilization on both, like, can't really tell a difference. They're both the same, so no point either. But what I do notice in terms of autofocus, sometimes on heavily backlit situations or when your subject is not well lit, the version 2 tends to hunt a bit more, and that might be a deal breaker for a few people. But just to sum it up, I feel like if you own any of the older versions of the Canon 70-200, I feel, in my opinion, you should upgrade. I know a lot of people say that, okay, you should keep the version 2, but in my opinion, there are two reasons why. The first one is mainly all of the things that I just compared just now in terms of the version 3. It's just better. It's sharper, it's more contrasty, autofocus is better. Overall, across the board, it seems like it's a different lens altogether. But for some people, this difference might be marginal. But for somebody like me, where I love extremely sharp images, this is a deal breaker. I would switch if I own the version 2 straight away. But number 2, the reason why I think that you should buy the version 3 even if you have the version 2 is mainly in terms of an investment. Right now, since the version 3 just came out, the price value of the version 2 has dropped already, and if you own the version 2 already, it's probably in your best interest to quickly sell it off if you want to get more returns out of it. If you own one, you've probably earned back the lens multiple times already. If you want to keep selling your lenses at higher second-hand prices, you're gonna have to keep up with the current generations. And I think if you buy this version 3, it will last you another good 10 years, and the value of it will only it will depreciate less than if you were to own the version 2. Of course, if you are looking to invest completely in the RF line, you probably want to wait to see for the 7200 for the RF cameras. But if you're sticking with the EF, I think it's a no-brainer to switch. If it's the first 7200, get the Canon version. I don't really suggest third-party lenses, mainly because, well, resale value, compatibility issues. But if cash is an issue and funds are not easy to come, by all means, I think there are a lot of good options. But I think in comparison, the Canon 7200 version 3 is probably the best bang for your buck right now, not just in terms of quality, but also in terms of an investment in the long run. So yeah, these are just my opinions. I hope this helped out. If you have any other questions about anything at all relating to photography, video, blah blah blah, or if you want to know a bit more about this lens, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.